you doing, folks? My name's Jesse. Vlog entry number 51, November 25th. What have I been working on? Well, I've been preparing for my gig December 20th with Backroads Country at the Northeast VFW. I've played with these guys before. It's always a lot of fun. A lot of cool tunes. Gary, the band leader, threw me a curveball. Normally I do it's a 4-set gig. Normally I do 2 sets on bass and 2 sets on guitar. And for the last two times I played with him, the first 2 sets were on guitar and the last 2 sets were on bass. And he switched it up. He wants me to do the first 2 sets on bass and the last 2 sets on guitar. So all the tunes that I learned, I now have to relearn, learning the guitar parts and the bass parts again, which is fine. It's a fun little challenge, and it gives me something to talk about today because there's a couple of things that I'm working on that I ended up being more of a challenge than I thought they were going to be. The first one. A little too much reverb for that. Let's just try straight delay. Turn the tremolo off. And I always thought that was easy because I only ever played. And I thought, well, that bass line is thumping in there. I should probably get that in there. And it turns out, it's sort of like what you got to do when you're doing Travis picking. Like the thumb is doing that, all straight quarter notes. I can't imagine doing that and singing Susie Q. And that was a solid 3 sessions of me trying to figure out what each finger is trying to do. Because what ends up happening is 2 passes of it, I'll use 1 set of fingers and then I'll forget, and then I gotta grab that other one. So it was really a game of this is what I have to do. And then the other thing, we're doing Sweet Caroline, and again, I played bass on it, so I was just the whole time just straight quarters. So I'm trying to imagine what the guitar player is doing, and so I'm guessing that it's going to be. And then it's like, well, that sounds dumb if you're just, what if nobody else is doing the other parts? So I've been trying to. Let me see if I can do it with a pick. And that's what I'm working on. And I'm still working on the middle pinky. That feels like the smoothest transition, but then going back to the middle real quick is hard, so I just try and do a slide. Right? So I'm still working on that and trying to figure out the best way to fret that. And then the other thing, I was listening to the song and I was listening to the bass line in the keyboard section, and I realized that it wasn't playing the root necessarily. Now, I'm not going to say I know what it was playing because I just heard, I was like, that's not the root. And then that made me think, well, what can I do? Because I've got shapes that I'm limited to. So, I thought maybe. Now I could do this. And then So bum 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 bum, and instead of going to the root, go to the third. Bum 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 bum, which is the fifth of the fifth of the fifth. You know, so that was kind of cool because I'm listening to it. And then you get to the other part, and I got to tell you, like I want to go here to this C because I want to make that C sick. I just like the way that sounds better. I mean, I can make it here, but it doesn't sound. It doesn't have. There's something about going from that G to that A. You know. I'm trying to think, do I need to do it any other way than that? But I think it just, like, I don't feel the need to, like, I don't know, like, keep it simple, right? You know? So I think I'm going to do that with that. And then another song that I'm working on is I Fought the Law and the Law Won. So I'm working on I Fought the Law and the Law Won. I played it on bass. I haven't played it on guitar. And like, that's one of those songs, I still love that song. And you listen to that song, and I did some reading up on Bobby Fuller just because he's a mysterious character historically, you know, who tragically his musical career was cut short when who knows what else he could have done. But I read up, and it was like apparently he was a huge Buddy Holly fan, and he was like, we're going Buddy Holly, and when you listen to it, it's like, oh yeah, absolutely, you know, like you know. You know, and the thing they said was that song came out at the time that the folk boom was really big, so Buddy Holly was sort of, you know, not necessarily in fashion, and yet that song did pretty well. And I'm again listening to it, and the cleanest guitar, so clean you could serve Thanksgiving dinner on it. And but I'm listening. Bobby Fuller had the right hand of doom. You know, like I'm still working on the part. It's a fun exercise in your voicings, right? So I'm having fun doing that. Now, what am I doing it with today? A guitar I've been wanting to talk about for a while. I picked this up 6-8 months ago. I didn't have a Jazzmaster, and I didn't have a Jaguar, and I was like, there's you know, something. You know, and I was like, let me go try them out. And I traded the Rickenbacker on this, and I said, let me listen to it. And I took it and I plugged it in to an amp. Originally, I played it and I was just like, I don't like this. But then I thought about it, and I grabbed another guitar and I plugged it in, and I was like, oh, that sounds really good. And then I realized the amp I was playing through was kind of cranked, and I was like, well, what I normally associate with a Jazzmaster tone. So I cleaned it up, went back and got it, and went, oh, I get it now. I get it. You know, it's that sound. You know. Let me throw some tremolo on it. Let me add some more reverb. And I went, oh my God, that's that sound. It's the sound I've been looking for. It's that spaghetti western tone. I mean, when I picked this up, I sold my Gretsch. I was like, this is the sound I was looking for, you know? Now, this is a Vintera, so it's made in Mexico. I did have to replace the bridge on it. The bridge was junk. It made a lot of noise. It buzzed, you know. And so I ended up putting a Mustang bridge on it, which seems to have improved. I'm playing junk at this point. That's the sound. That's the sound, you know? And then come to find out that one of my favorite country songs can't be all bad then, right? Something about oh, turn the tremolo off. And I think when I look at the film footage of Johnny Cash at San Quentin, his guitar player was playing a Jazzmaster through a very loud Fender Twin. So, I'm really happy with it. And the thing is, I was never an alternative guy, and I know that this was the guitar of choice for a lot of those bands. And I had some preconceived notions about it. I hit it with the Nonaclon just to see what would happen. Stole that lick. Thanks, Uncle Larry. So maybe it's a little more versatile than I thought. At the same time, I recognize that I can't play my usual repertoire O stuff over it. You know, it kind of demands that you play a little differently. And think about what lines you're playing and stuff like that. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on the Jazzmaster. My name's Jesse. I'll talk to you later.